Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Brennan Childs and I'm a pianist here on YouTube. Today we're going to be doing a piano tutorial for the song Idea 22, which is by Gibran Alcocer. Before we get started, if you are not subscribed to my channel already, I definitely encourage you to. It helps me out a lot here on YouTube, and it also helps you guys out because then you don't miss out on any of my future content. So before we get started, I'm going to do a playthrough of the entire arrangement now. Okay, so in the right hand at the intro, you're going to have your thumb here on G sharp and your third finger here on D sharp. So you're going to go and hold that one out. And then you go up to C with your thumb and G with your pinky. And hold G out. Then that repeats. And then in the left hand, you're going to be doing this pattern where you press a key with your pinky and then you jump up to a chord, which is a group of 2 or more keys at the same time. And think of the chords that you're going to be doing in the left hand as kind of like the foundation of the song. So you're going to be playing mostly 4 of these chords here, these groups of keys together. So the first one is your pinky with G sharp, and then you jump up to pinky on G sharp again, third finger on C, and thumb on D sharp. So that's G sharp, C, D sharp. So you hit it 6 times. So pinky, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we go up to C with our pinky. And then now the formation is pinky with G, third finger with C, and thumb on D sharp. So really you're just moving this key in your pinky from G sharp down to G, right? So that's C, and then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then that repeats. So all together, it's going to be like this. Thumbs and our pinky are at the same time. So together, and then you go up to the third finger. Now switch, and we play the C's at the same time. Repeat. Next section here is a little bit tricky, so just bear with me. You're gonna have to memorize this. So you go C. Usually I do it with my thumb or my third finger, and then we go to G sharp, D sharp, D. So it's C. Then we go C, D sharp, D. So try that all together. Then we go C, B flat, C. Then it goes up to D sharp, G, C, G. Then it goes back to C, D sharp, D, C, B flat, C. And you hold that out. All together, I'm going to play through it. Okay, feel free to pause the video and practice that a bunch. Okay, now we're going to be doing a lot of jumping between chords in the left hand, so bear with me here. You're going to start with F in your pinky, and you jump up to pinky on F, third finger on G sharp, and thumb on C. And you're going to do it twice. So that's... Then you go back to this C one that you did earlier, pinky on C, pinky on G, middle finger C, thumb on D sharp. So it's twice. Then you move down to B flat. And then the next formation is pinky on F, middle finger B flat, thumb on D. And you're doing each one of these twice, okay? And then lastly, you do this middle black key here, G sharp. And then you go to pinky on G sharp, middle finger C, and thumb on D sharp. So just to reiterate, you start on F, C, B flat, G sharp. Okay. So now those are pretty much all the chords. You're just changing the order of them and how you play them. So we're going to get into that more later. But let's go ahead and try and put both hands together here. So we start with C here with this F in our pinky. Okay, so on the second formation, right, where we're hitting it twice, that's when we move to the G sharp. So it's... Now when we move to the D is when we move to C. Now when we move to D is when we move to B flat. Then to G sharp. Okay, so the C and the F are at the same time. Back to C. Now when we do C here, we move to B flat. So at that point, you actually hold this one and you play it 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we get into the next part. So again, this is a little bit tricky. I'm gonna go through it both hands nice and slow, and then you can just get the timing of it that way. So here we go. Full speed, it would sound like this. Okay, then we get on to the next section. So in the right hand, this is what you would probably consider the chorus of the song. So I'm gonna play through it here. So you start with your thumb here on C, and you go C, C, G. Then you go C, B flat, G sharp, G, down to D sharp, D, G, D, C. And then it repeats. So I'm gonna play through it without talking. Repeat. Okay, then it immediately goes into this part. D sharp, C, G sharp. Then we go. A little bit tricky. This is probably the hardest part of the song. Okay, so again, just to go over that, we have that part that we learned, and then it goes immediately into. And we hold it out. Now in the left hand, we start the same, we're doing the same chords that you did earlier, but you're just changing up the order now of them. So the order is going to be starting on this one here, the G sharp one. Okay, then we go to F, then to C, then to B flat, back to G sharp, down to F, up to C, ending on B. So feel free to go through and practice that order, because it is a little bit tricky to switch up the order all of a sudden, but that's just how it is on this song. It'll be a nice challenge. Okay, so here we go. We're going to try and do both hands together here now. So remember, we're starting on this one and we're hitting it at the same time as this C. So on the second C up to G is when you hit the F. So it's these two at the same time. Now when I do G sharp is when I move to C. B flat. Back to G sharp. And then we get into the next part. So you play the G sharp, and then you go up to this one twice, then that repeats. Then you do the same thing with C, twice, repeat, and then it goes back. And then in the right hand, you go thumb on C, hold it, G, D sharp, D, C, and then that repeats. G, D sharp, D, C. And then it goes to a little bit of a different part. It goes C, G, G, C, G, G, C, G, G, D sharp, D, D sharp, D, and then it repeats. And then it gets into the next part. So all together, that part is. Okay, so let's try this both hands together here. When I go up to G is when I move to the C. Back to G sharp. get to the next part. Then it repeats. Now we get into the next part. So this next part here is a repeat of an earlier section, the exact same. So we move to this F here, remember? And we go C, B, and then now we move to this G, both G's in the right hand, and we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 when we move up to the last key. So it's so you're playing it at the same time and you're doing G sharp, 1 in the left hand. Okay, so then at this point, then you get into the chorus again. It's exactly the same, so I'm gonna play through it here. Okay, now on this part, it changes. So instead of going back down, you do a different part. The left hand is the same, but I'm gonna show you the right hand. So it's G, B flat, C. So I'm gonna play through it, this last section here. G, B flat, C, D sharp, then you hold it out. One more time here. It's hard to name each note because it goes so quick. So again, just watch me play it nice and slow. All right. So now I'm going to show you how it goes with both hands. Again, the left hand stays exactly the same. So here we go, starting on the new chorus. New part. Starting over on the left hand. Last one 6 times. Okay, again, I know this is a little bit confusing, but you just do the chorus and you do the same order of the keys, right? So let's go through it one more time just to be thorough here. So now we get into the chorus. Okay. Good news is the next part, the left hand stays exactly the same in that order, right? right? Okay, and then in the right hand, it's a little bit of a tricky part. So we're gonna start with your third finger here on D sharp, pointer finger on C, and G sharp with your thumb. So then you go to C, D, D sharp. So try that. One more time. Okay, then the next formation is pinky on F, pointer finger C, and thumb on G sharp. So that's twice you do it, from the top to the bottom. Then you go to pinky on G, middle finger on D sharp, and thumb on C, and you do this one twice. Then you keep your pinky right where it is on G, and you move your pointer finger to D, and your thumb to B flat. And then this goes twice. Okay, so all together that first half is now the second part is very similar. It starts on the first one exactly the same. Second one's the same. Third one's the same. But the last one you then move up to B flat, G with your third finger, and thumb on D. Okay, and then the last one you do is then you move up to your pinky on C, pointer finger on G, and thumb on D sharp, and it goes. And this one continues for basically the rest of the song. Okay, so let's try that whole thing together. Here we go. Start over. Up to B flat, up to C. Okay, we're gonna get into how many times to play that later. Okay, so like I said, the left hand is in the same order. It's a little bit tricky because you're playing a lot in the right hand and a lot in the left hand, so just know that you might not get it right away after this tutorial. You're gonna need to practice it for a little bit before you can kind of play it without thinking. But we're gonna go ahead and run through both hands together here. So it's, so when you're hitting the D sharp, should be when you go to move to the next one, which is F. So it's, okay, then you kind of already need to know where to go, right? So, okay, now when I move to this one, the G here, I move to C in the left hand. Okay, then when I hit the G again, I move to the B. Start back over on the G sharp, down to F, up to C and G. Okay, remember we moved to this B flat now in the right hand, and we're also doing, funny enough, a B flat in the left hand. Okay, now when I'm moving to this last one, I'm starting over on the pattern in the left hand, so keep that in mind. So here we go, starting over the pattern, I just continue right through while I hit this in the right hand. Repeat. This one extra 3 times at the end. What I'm going to do at this point, just to be extra safe, is I'm going to do a full run through, nice and slow, of everything, putting all the sections together. So here we go. right, and there you have it, folks. That is the entire piano tutorial for the song Idea 22 by Gibran Alcocer. If you enjoyed this tutorial, definitely consider subscribing to my channel, as it does help me out a lot as a YouTube creator. Don't forget to create art, and I'll see you guys next time.